Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I am all wrapped up because it is freezing in here. We've had a plumbing emergency. We've got no heating and no hot water at least until Monday. I'm double and triple layered. Might have to run about to keep warm. At least luckily we've got an electric shower, so at least it won't be stinking. Anyway, so the good thing today is ScrawlrBox arrived. I love ScrawlrBox Day. It was only last night that I did a little guest spot on the Scrawler Live thing that they're doing it every month now, looking at the previous month's box. So I went on last night to talk about box number 90, which I loved, the one with all the one with these amazing System 3 fluid acrylics. Loved them. Want all the colours in these now. Sadly, I missed a sale that Cass Art had. I'll have to wait for another sale to come around and buy all the colours. Anyway, so now we've got another box to play with. I had one last go with those yesterday, thinking, well, hopefully the new box will arrive soon. Didn't think it was going to be as soon as today, so let me show you. So yeah, so I had a go at painting on these stones, and just using the paint as it was. I dipped in some of them. I did straight out the bottle because they got the little nozzles, and some of them I used little. That's too small actually. Little got a few of these kind of things. You can get them for embossing, you can get them for nail art these days, and you just like dot it. Oh, very therapeutic. I think I like colourful, but I actually quite like the look of just that white on the blue. The teal blue background was just, that was only one coat as well. I mean, it's not perfect, but it does. That was a mixture of all three colours actually to get that nice kind of teal. Anyway, enough of that. That's last month's box. Let's move on. Okay. So for anyone that doesn't know, this is a mystery art supply box. It's a monthly subscription. It's $18.95 I believe at the moment, but it's cheaper if you buy a longer subscription. I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan. I've been having ScrawlrBox for around 4.5 years, and I'm a massive Scrawler nerd. So you don't know what you're going to get. It's a curated box of supplies that will all work together. They give you a prompt and things as well. I'll show you all that as we go along. If you're interested in subscribing to ScrawlrBox yourself, or as a gift for a friend, I mean, I think it's great for a beginner because everything you need will be in there. But also, if like me, you've already got a whole load of stuff, it's still a lovely surprise, and it makes you try something that's just a little bit outside of what you'd normally do, and that's, you know, that's really fun. If you are interested in subscribing, I'll put a link below. It's like a referral code. If you follow that, you can get £3 off your first box, and also I get £3 worth of Scrawler points, which is very lovely. Thank you very much. And I can spend it on more art supplies, which I really need. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's go in, shall we? You haven't come here to listen to me waffle. Off in one every time. I don't know why Johnny ever had a problem. Okay, I love this bit. I'm waffling on, but I'm also keeping myself in suspense for as long as possible, because part of the fun is this surprise element. And then we all know that once the boxes start to arrive, we've all got to look at social media kind of like this, or not at all, so we don't see any spoilers. Nice colours, nice colours. Ooh, so here's the little supply package, which I'm going to put to one side. Look at that. So we've got that gorgeous kind of citrusy, yellowy green there with a kind of midnight blue at the top. Love that combination. Very dramatic. Look at that. Not much of a clue as to what is going to be in here. Oh, look. That's really striking, isn't it? So what's that been done with? Squeeze, have a bit of a feel. Katrina Young is the featured artist, so you always get this art print by the featured artist. Australian fine artist and illustrator, many mediums and themes. There's all her socials there. So I shall go and find her on Instagram in a bit. Lovely, and I did this colour box scheme is gorgeous. I hope we've got all these colours in there to play with, whatever medium it is. It feels like markers, but anyway, right. Oh, and this is a bit different. We've got a square format paper bag. So you always get the ScrawlrZine, which I'm not going to look at yet because too many spoilers. You get the art print by the featured artist, and you get some kind of surface to work on. Sometimes, usually it'll be some kind of paper pad, but occasionally we've had things like artboard, and sometimes it'll be little like journals, almost like little sketch pads. We had a concertina sketch pad last month. I loved that. Not last month, month before, January. This is actually on slightly crooked. You see, that's going to irritate my OCD-ness. It's on crooked. The cover's on crooked. Look, my cover's on crooked. It won't matter. Art Gecko. Always love Art Gecko products. So it's quite a nice smooth, did it say Bristol board? Yeah, Bristol board sketch tile. Look at that. I love this in the background. London skyline there. Light surface. Okay. Yeah, feels nice. So we've got 10 sheets. It's 250 GSM. Acid free. And one of the things I love about Art Gecko, I know it doesn't really make any difference to the functionality of it, but they always have this little imprinted gecko print there on all their products. I love that. So let's put that to one side. Let's put the box to one side. Quite often I end up using the box as part of my artwork. I don't tend to enjoy working in small paper pads. It's lovely to have all these different kind of papers because you can try all different kinds of papers and go and buy a bigger one if you want to, and you know it's great for swatching on, but I end up getting a bit creative to give myself more kind of space to work on, and one of the ways I do that is to actually use the box. So let's get into the really exciting part. This is always the part we get most excited about. Let's see what we've got in here. So you always get a sticker, and usually that's part of the featured artwork, which you can see there. You get what I call the menu card, I don't know if that's what they call it, which has a prompt on it every month. So this time it's feminine energy. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Ooh. This month's box is all about embracing the feminine energy this time of year. Well, I'll start that again. This month's box is all about embracing the feminine energy this time of year's season has to offer. Oh yeah, everything bursting into life, I suppose. Taking inspiration from our featured artist, we encourage you to explore working this soft colour palette and channeling Mother Nature into your delicate artworks. That follows on quite nicely actually from last month's theme, which was organic origins, and we had very fresh spring colours in that. This is kind of very different, but kind of expanding on that in my mind. I won't look at that yet because that'll tell me I'm still not looking at these. You always get some kind of a sweetie, and it's lovely that it matches in some way usually the supplies, and you can see here it matches colour wise, doesn't it? And it says, and it's refreshing. New growth, you know. I may be reading too much into that now. Last month it was sherbet lemon, and the featured artist was actually Kerry Lemon, so that was brilliant. Also I love sherbet lemons. Okay, so keep the tissue because we always use the tissue again. Let's be as eco-friendly as we can. Oh, that reminds me. 1% for the Planet member. We're committed to giving back to the planet. For every box sold, we will plant one tree in association with Trees for the Future. I think that's really commendable, which is one of the many things I love about ScrawlrBox. Okay, so here we are. Here's the actual goodies. Right. What are these? Copic Chow. Do you say that? Chow? Chow? E31 Super Brush and Medium Broad. So we've got a nice sort of flexible brush tip. I like it when they're flexible. Or kind of an actual brush. Sometimes they're actual bristles, aren't they? Bristles. And then a little kind of chisel tip. Or alcohol based, I feel. Don't sniff it. Don't lick it. Don't sniff it. Yeah, I think I'm going to like these. They're very juicy. So that was called Spectrum Green, Brick Beige, and Mallow. Now I'm a bit confused because that feels like it's nothing, it doesn't feel like the colours there or there to me. So I'm a bit confused at the moment. Not that I don't like them, but it's not what I've seen. What's this one? So Staedtler Pigment Liner 0.08. That's a nice size. Quite a chunky one, not too fine. I like that. See, and a pencil. Derwent Graphic 2H. Let's go into the zine. On the back of here, they tell you lots of details about the products and also how much they are, which is quite interesting, just to see if you're getting your money's worth. These apparently are $5.49 each. That's quite pricey, isn't it? But I mean, that is Copic markers are, and they are brilliant. So if we totted that up, that's $16.50. The Staedtler liner is £2.95. Call that £3 then. £16.50, £19.50. The Bristol board pad is only £2.99. It seems quite cheap, doesn't it? So that's £22.50, and then the pencil £1.85. So we just call that pound because I bumped the other one up. Yeah, so we've got about 22 quid's worth there, which is I'm very happy with, and the refresher. And of course, you don't pay any more for postage either. So right, so let's have a look in here, get some inspiration. Okay. The artist print. Using additional colours. Okay, so it does say she used additional colours there. I mean, obviously there's no red or pink or anything in there. But we've got a purple and a green and a beige, so we'll see. Super juicy. So these Copics are super juicy, making them ideal for blending. Juicy blends. Between the lines. Bleed proof liner, ideal pairing for details and outlines with your Copics. Yeah, because it is important, because they're an alcohol based marker. You need to make sure you've got a liner that won't react with them. Not just for sketching. Try layering your graphite pencil on top to add texture and definition. Okay, I will try that. Light surface Bristol board is the ideal paper for gliding those Copics across the page. Okay, so here's the featured artist. I won't go into this in too much detail. Katrina Young. She looks fun, doesn't she? I love reading all the Q&A bit here. Look at those beautiful pieces. Look at the hair there. Wow, how has she done that? Now I've taken out, ignoring the pinky bit, the reddy pinky bit. I think it looks like most of this could have been done with these markers that we've got. Do you think? I think I should have made that the print. This one, she's loves doing hair, obviously, and I love this where you just the way the light is catching that lower eyelid. It's a lovely little study, that, isn't it? Okay, enough of that. Let's not read through the whole magazine on camera. Okay, scrawler tips. All of this is very handy. Scrawler tips and things to try. I love this bit. Okay, get to know the colour, the bleed ratio. Yeah, do a proper swatch. That's a proper organised swatch, isn't it? Add layers of the same marker. We'll try all this in a minute. This can be used for shading and shadows. They don't mind. They always say with the challenge, they don't. In an ideal world, you use just the stuff that's in the box, but sometimes if it just makes it more usable, if you just add one little product in or something, they don't mind you doing that. They won't discount you because you've used a different pencil, or I think I might not go so far as adding in another colour. But Copics are known for being super blendable. Couple of tips: work fast with ink still wet. Lighter shades will move the pigment of darker shades, so it's best to use the lighter to blend with. We'll have to have a go with that. For smoother brushstroke transitions, use the brush ended tip of the pen and slightly lift with each stroke. Yeah, I'll have a good read of all of this. There's quite a lot of tips there. It's really handy. I like this. They've sort of expanded this area a bit. Some lovely colours there with just the colours we've got in the box. Quite a good range, isn't it? Okay, layer up your supplies on top of each other to create new shades, tints and effects. Wait for each colour to dry to avoid bleeding. So there always was one page of tips from the artist and from Scrawler, but there are two now. So this is artist advice. Oh, this is called Dappled. That is lovely how these light effects behind. Beautiful, isn't it? Wanted to evoke the feeling of spring, a cool breeze and the smell of nice fresh air. I'm really looking forward to giving these a good try, because, you know, they are an investment. Markers like this are an investment, and it's nice to just have a few to try and see. It's another one of the great things about having a subscription box like this, because you know, you just get to try a little bit of something, and that you might not have thought of, and sometimes it doesn't make you want to go out and buy the whole set. But sometimes you think, okay, I've tried that, I don't need to try it again. Correcting mistakes. Most mistakes are fixable. Just take a breath, have a think, and see what you can do. You can also use a colourless blender or isopropyl alcohol or rubbing alcohol if you have some. Well, I just so happen to have a huge bottle of isopropyl alcohol. We have two kinds of IPA in this house. We have this, and then we have the IPA that my husband keeps in the garage, India Pale Ale. A fun thing to try with Copics is picking up another colour with your nib, kind of double loading your brush with painting. Ah yes, I have tried that with Macy before. Oh, and the Scrawler Gallery. I always have the Scrawler Gallery. I really struggled with this one, and then because for me the colours, it wasn't my favourite colour scheme, especially because the prompt was food related. It was dish of the day. A lot of people did what I did and went with fish, and I think that's partly because of the colours, you know, were quite limited. Having said that, I did think about macarons as well. Having said that, I then looked at some of the amazing pieces that came out last month, and I just thought, oh, I gave in too easily because look what people came up with. Look at this one with the eyeball. Tori's in! Yay! Well done, Tori. Oh, I'm very happy to see Tori in there. Tori's just joined our little band of collaborators for the Inspired by collab that we do sort of quarterly, so very excited to... She won't know this yet because she's away on holiday, I believe. That'll be a nice surprise for her to come home to, won't it? Look at this with the figs. I mean, there was me saying it didn't work for food, but look what people did, although I think they've used a different paper there because that looks like a toned background or something. That's a fantastic idea, isn't it? Brilliant. Lucy Locks, look at this octopus. Fantastic. Oh, I remember seeing this one. It went right, because the sketchbook we got with this, you can kind of see it there, was a concertina sketchbook, and this went all a lot. Oh, it's fantastic. Look at Boca Glory. That looks like rhubarb and cranberries. Look at them. Amanda Hadfield, that, and now she was at the live last night. I remember seeing her comments in the chat. Yeah, look at the prawns. I tried to do prawns, I just couldn't do them, or maybe my heart wasn't in it, I don't know. Jen Edwards, Melissa Munro, look at them all. And I love this. I think those macaroons are beautifully done. Look at the pepper. See, now I was just being so close-minded about the colours with food, because you see that's a pepper that is perfectly obviously a pepper. There's no green there though, she's used blue there, but it works really well, doesn't it? I think I didn't rise to the challenge very well last month, let's say, but everybody else clearly has. I think if I had to pick one huge favourite, I think it'd be that, because I'm so impressed by the range of colours and textures in there. Those pencils, so it was Derwent Artist Colour pencils, and then we got a ballpoint pen as well. I got a blue one. I think some people got black, but it looks like most people got blue. Okay, right, let's move on. And here's the top 3. So I remember seeing this one. In fact, I saw all of these on Instagram. So Momiji Jaws, Jax. So good, isn't it? That really is so good. And she's done more than one as well by the look of it. Look at this one. Danielle Fraser. Fantastic. I think Jax was in the live last night commenting as well, I'm fairly sure. I don't know, is that Keris or Ceres? Keris, I think. Clark. I think that's genius, that one. And this looks like it's been mostly done with the ballpoint pen. Because we also got a colourless blender pen with it, and I think I was meant to be used with the coloured pencils, but what some of us were doing was using it with the ballpoint pen, and it got this glorious blue. I had some ideas of doing like a willow pattern thing with it or something, but I just didn't. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know, you can't love every single box. I do love most of them, some more than others. This wasn't one of my favourites, but I'm just blown away with what other people have managed to do. What an inspiration. Well done, everybody. So this is about Frida Kahlo. I've got lots of stuff with Frida Kahlo's very distinctive image on. It's interesting. So this is tied, so the article at the back always ties in some way to the theme of the box. So this is about it's because it's feminine energy, isn't it? So this is talking about, so she really bucked the trend, didn't she? In the early 1900s, the ideal Western woman was well-mannered, maternal, an excellent housekeeper, and of course cut a slim figure. With the sudden marketing of razors to women, they added hairless to this criteria. Frida Kahlo took all these imposed standards and threw them in the bin. Yeah, she was quite a character and a brilliant artist. I wonder if I could do a portrait of Frida Kahlo. I've tried one before, actually. I think the only thing I'm disappointed about is that I initially saw this amazing combination of the citrusy colours there and that dark kind of midnight blue and stuff, and I can't, obviously there's no way that's coming from there. The colours we've got to play with are much more like that, really, aren't they? Which is also lovely. And if I do, like I often do, I might end up doing a bit of collaging and using some of this anyway, because I can use anything that's in the box. And I might also see what I can do with using this as a colourless blender, because I could just get a tiny, just decant a little bit of it into an egg cup or something and just use one of these and use that for blending. So I don't think that's the kind of thing. I mean, I wouldn't just add another colour, but I think just adding an extra supply like this is acceptable. It is in my mind anyway. And at the end of the day, the prompt is just to kind of set you off. So let's gather up everything we've got here. This doesn't want to see. This cover's definitely on the her, as we say here in Norfolk. Look, it doesn't want to stay shut either. Put it there. Let's do that. Okay, I think that's another lovely and challenging box. I'm really looking forward to giving those Copic markers a good try. Yeah, very happy with that. So that's box number 91. Okay, I just finished up and said goodbye and then realised I'd never actually swatched. In my defence, I did only get about 2 hours at most sleep last night, and it's been a hectic day already one way and another, so I'm going to swatch now and then I'm going to say goodbye again. You see, I am tired. Let's get my face out of the way and do a bit of swatching. That's me trying to get it smooth. I might have to practice a little bit. So if I do 3 rows like this, I know 5, and then leave that one as it is. This one I'll go over with another layer. So I'm going to go over again. So we've got 5 layers there. Now I have to say that my camera is doing its usual trick of changing the, I'll just change the, no, that doesn't help. Oh, I've turned it off altogether. In real life, this is a slightly yellower toned green. It looks bluer and duller on your screen than it does in real life. I actually prefer it in real life. Just want to try mixing these two. Yeah. I'm not usually very organised with my swatching. And what happens if I go over this? Could maybe try going over again now it's dry. Yeah. Yeah, if you let it dry and layer over. Oops, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this IPA on a cotton bud. Let's see how that works in a minute. So if we try using this over the top, so oh, this feels lovely on that paper. I'm going to do this now, so we'll see what happens. Nothing much. I think I did that the wrong way around. I'm being a numpty. So what I should have done was, if I go over this now while it's still wet, I'm going to get smudging like that. Let's clean my nib off. I'll just wait till that's dry, and because this is quite smooth, this paper, and that liner is sort of reasonably juicy, it can sometimes take a while for it to fully dry. Okay, it's not moving now, so I think that's, so if I go over with this now, hopefully it won't smudge. Oh no, it's still smudging. I maybe need to leave it a bit longer then. How long's that one been going? No, it's still moving. Maybe I have to use the liner over the top then. To read up on that before I do my challenge piece, I will have to work that out. This is so beautiful on this paper. Okay, I want to leave this to, I mean, I don't know how much drier it can get. It's not moving at all. Are we getting any bleed through on the back? Very little. Anywhere I went really quite heavily on there, that has gone through a bit. It hasn't come through to the next page, so that's good. Yeah, does that mean I can never go over the top with these? Yeah, it's still moving. So yeah, that would be interesting to see. I'm tempted now just to try. That would be a nice shadow colour there. So if I mix all three colours together, I think it said to wait for one layer to dry before you go in with another one. Draw a shape with your pencil and colour it in. Once dry, you'll see how far out the ink will bleed to. Yeah, so I suppose if you, yeah, no, let's do a square again, I find it easier. It's a useful test, isn't it? So if I'm working on this paper, oops, I've gone outside the lines anyway. Let's colour it in right up to the line. Give it a few minutes to fully dry, and then we'll see if it's crept outside the lines at all. It'd be nice if I find that on this paper it doesn't, so that I know where I am. Just picking up a little bit of this on here. Maybe a bit more. That's nice that you can graduate from one to the other. And if I say I wanted more of that, see if this would work as a blender. Moves it a little bit, but this is what my swatching tends to be like. A whole lot of mumbling to myself. Let's see if I now use this to blend. It doesn't really seem to move. Once it's gone on, I'm not really, I had to practice a bit. I'm not, actually now as it dries you can see the whole thing is fading out, but it's still not blending that line, is it? But maybe I just didn't do a great job of it in the first place. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a lot of practicing with this. But that's good, because I'm not very, I have got some other alcohol markers and they're very underused in my craft room, so this will be good. It'll make me give it more of a go. But definitely my camera is not doing justice to these colours. They are prettier than they look there in real life. But it's quite a It's quite a limited palette, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Can't see that is going to get any drier now. Let's just see what happens if I think I need to bear in mind that I will have to use the liner over the top. It says it's waterproof, but of course it's not alcohol proof. So I thought this was going to be one of those pens that is okay with Copic markers if you go over the top, because there are some. I'm sure there are some. I'll have a little bit before I come back and do my challenge piece. I will look into that, and then I can let you know if I find anything useful, and if anybody's got any pointers. As always, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. So I'm going to say goodbye again now, because I'm really going this time, because I actually remembered to do my swatching. I think that's a really fab box. I think it's going to I'm going to find the prompt quite challenging, but it's called a challenge for a reason. I think it's very inspiring, but I'll get me noggin working on that for a bit. What do you think? Have you got the box? Are you still waiting for it? I hope you don't have to wait too long. Do you like the box? And what do you make to the challenge? Yeah. And as I say, if you've got any tips about using these alcohol markers, please feel free to share them in the comments, not just for me, but for everybody. So can I just mention as well, the Discord group is going really well. Lots of us chatting in there, and you will see things in there that you're not going to see anywhere else. So I'll leave a link. I'll leave my link tree. So if you follow that, the one at the top I think it is the Discord link, and the Facebook group link is also in there as well. So I'm still going to keep the Facebook group going. So if you don't want to do Discord and you like the Facebook group, don't worry, that's not going anywhere. We all love seeing what we all love being inspired by each other, don't we? That's what it's all about. So I'm really going now. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that little peek, and I will see you again soon with my first attempt at the challenge. Feminine energy. That's what I haven't got today. I've got no energy of any kind.